Ghana declared this year a year of return, and masses flocked to Ghana, and many are still planning to make the journey back. As our long-lost siblings return to reconnect, I hope Africa as a whole also begins a journey of returning back to greatness. And how can we do that? Ghana and Africa as a whole do not need liberators, miracle workers, or redeemers. What the next generation of pace setters coming out of Africa need is leaders as teachers. Let me explain. Historically, by the end of the book of Numbers, Moshe's career as a leader seemed to have come to its end. He had taken the people from slavery and had initiated the walk to freedom. Now, independence is not freedom. Independence gives you responsibility. It is how you handle the responsibility that informs us whether you are free or not. Moses had appointed his successor, Joshua, and it would be Joshua, not Moses, who would lead the people across the Jordan into the land promised. Moses seemed to have achieved everything he was destined to achieve. For him, there would be no more battles to fight, like in Africa today. No more miracles to perform. Those days are over, my fellow African. No more prayers to say on behalf of the people. We have prayed enough and for too long. It is what Moses did next that bears the mark of greatness. For the last month of his life, he assembled the people and delivered the series of addresses we know as the book of Devarim, Deuteronomy, which literally means words. In them, he reviewed the people's past and foresaw their future. He gave them laws. Some he had given them before, but in a different form. Others were new. He had waited to announce them until the people were about to enter the land. What Moses was doing was giving the people their why. W-H-Y. Moses surely knew that some of his greatest achievement would not last forever. This is the dilemma leaders face. The people he had rescued would one day suffer exile and persecution again, as Africa is suffering again, though in a different form. The next time, though, they will not need a Moses to do miracles. So he planted a vision in their minds, hope in their hearts, discipline in their deeds, and strength in their souls that would never fade. Vision, hope, discipline, and courage. Things, sadly, the African lacks, especially discipline. When leaders become educators, they change lives. A lesson we learn from the lion, the majestic cats that rule the world of animals. You see, in the past, our elders taught us wisdom from these animal stories because there is a wealth of wisdom to gather from them. The lion comes to the hunting grounds with its cubs, and Africans have to do the same. The lion comes to the hunting grounds with its cubs and places them in full sight of the hunt. Why do they do that? The lioness is not placing them in danger, but rather exposing them to the force and authority of some of the most powerful creatures on earth. She wants the next generation to see everything. This act is to teach the cubs how to hunt by allowing them to observe those who have mastered the art of hunting. These cubs will one day replace their parents, and for these majestic cats to still reign as king of the jungle, they make sure they prepare the next generation by bringing them to watch and observe the hunting ground. Before the cub is a year old, the lioness meticulously and intentionally begins to train her young to hunt and to survive, to retain the title King of the Jungle. You see, there is a difference between giving people what they want and teaching them what to want. The cubs may want to play or just have their food, but the lioness teaches them to go after dominance, and the meat will be in abundance. This is what the next generation of African leaders need to be taught. When you vote me into power, my first 90 days, I will start to mentor my replacements, should be every African leader's goal. The first thing to do is to get ready to leave. With that as your ultimate goal, you begin from day one, transferring and depositing of knowledge, experience, relationships, influence to the next generation. Bring your mentees with you when you go to the UN. Let them sit at the negotiating tables with other world leaders so that they can get comfortable in those halls of power. Your first thing is not to get rid of your opposition, to crush threat. It is to begin to survey the horizon, looking around to identify their potential replacements and start mentoring them. I know Africa will rise again, and there is a group of pace setters, leaders, that are in the works, that are being groomed to take over.